Alright guys, just wanted to go through with you and go over the 2013 Capital City Pumpkin Drop rules. Obviously, hopefully by now we know the goal and the challenge, so let's go through the rules. The big one is students are not allowed on the field. This will be announced multiple times at the beginning of the drop, so please remind students, and if we do see students out on the field, then we'll disqualify them. Each pumpkin enclosure requires that there's a design sheet. Those are going to be turned in and reviewed for sustainability as well as safety. Pumpkins have to be a minimum of 8 inches in spherical diameter, so that's anywhere around the pumpkin. If the calipers can go around the pumpkin, then that means it's smaller than 8 inches, and therefore it will be, if it does survive the fall, it will be disqualified because it's too small. Only regular pumpkins can be dropped, so no Cinderella pumpkins, gourds, white pumpkins, black pumpkins, anything like that. The inside may not be altered, so no freezing, adding of chemicals. Pumpkins must be free to fall to the ground, no bungee cords. And we also decided to add this year that there will be no parachutes. So those kind of were unsafe last year, so we decided no parachutes. The pumpkin enclosure has to have one single pick point, and that needs to be 12 inches away from the structure. Let me go through to the next one and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So whatever size their enclosure happens to be, the distance from the enclosure to the pick point, that distance can be no more than 12 inches. We don't want to have a bunch of rigging up there as far as that goes. The approximate drop height will be around 60 feet plus or minus. The maximum size of the enclosure is going to be 9 feet. So the width plus the height plus the length, all of that together needs to be no more than 9 feet. That's not going to include the string or whatever device that they have to make it from the enclosure to the pick point. The maximum weight of the enclosure is going to be no more than 35 pounds. It's a little less amount than was last year, so make it a little bit more challenging for the students. The distance will be measured from the center of target to the closest resting place of that particular pumpkin container. So you're going to measure the distance from the center X out to the closest piece of their enclosure to the target. There will be no styrofoam peanuts or small non-biodegradable packaging fillers allowed. Bubble wrap, no spray foam insulation. We've encouraged recycling and reusing materials. We've had some questions and we have gone back and said no Jello. We had a question about peanut butter this year, and we said as long as it doesn't make a mess. So we'll see if they can keep that peanut butter from exploding. You have 1 minute to be able to break into that pumpkin contraption. Once you start to break it open, you've got a minute to get in there and see whether it is intact or not. No electricity. We have to have safe pumpkins, so no splattering fragments or liquids. If that happens, then they'll be disqualified. We need to not make damage to Power Park property, and if you see anything that looks safe or looks unsafe, then come find a head judge before you pick it up in the air and let it drop. Come find me or Suzette Breeden, and we'll be happy to go over the rules one more time and make sure that we have safe drops. We don't want to get anybody hurt or damage any property. The check-in judge, which will either be me or Suzette Breeden, will have the final say as to whether safety is being followed and whether the pumpkin can be dropped. If there are any sharp and or protruding metal or wood objects, nails, screws, handles, anything like that we deem unsafe, then the pumpkin would then get disqualified. We'll reiterate at the check-in station that objects cannot be retrieved from the garbage once the pumpkin has been dropped. That's always seems to be an issue, and we don't want students down on the field or in the trash area. The drop order is just going to be first come, first serve. They're going to get lined up down at the bottom, and if the school happens to win the overall Grand Slam Pumpkin Award, then the second best team in that particular school is in the running for lower prizes. So if you have, say, South Charleston Middle School could win Grand Slam Pumpkin, their second best team is in the running then for the overall middle school first place, second place, third place awards. But once your school wins one of the first, second, or third place awards, then your school is out for winning any of the other first, second, or third place awards. Kind of like no double dipping as far as that goes. There will also be a poster contest. ZMM Architects are going to help us by handling the judging of that. So as the teams come in, they're going to put their posters over in the ticketing area, and ZMM will handle all of the judging of the poster board. So there's no need to worry about that. So do realize that the lifting procedure has been explained to them in the rules. All of these rules here are included in your judging packet, so if you need to go back and look at them, here's a copy of the design sheet. So if you're judging in the sustainable or safety category, you're going to want to read through the list of contents and materials, make sure that there's everything that's in there follows the rules. The design specifics is more for deciding who is going to win most creative design and that sort of thing. And then the score sheets this year are going to be automatically generated. So that is pretty neat. You're not going to have to fill out these score sheets anymore. We're just going to pop in from an Excel file and print out these score sheets and be able to email those to the teachers at a later date. So if you've got any questions, feel free to give me a call. There's my contact info right there, or you can contact Ms. Thompson, or on the day of the event, if you have any questions about the rules or you need to disqualify anybody, you need to let me or Suzette Breeden know so that we double check and look over the rules one more time so that we don't have any upset parents and teachers on our hands. Thanks for watching this. Bye.